on. Come on in.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, my pleasure. I know. Let me introduce you to this very old teak root. Really to our birds. We got Hedwig and Mochi and Cinnamon.
So you've got a studio here in your house.
Got a studio. I call it the basement because it's in a basement. I'm a bass player, so it's actually spelled Baffsmint. The U.S. Mint of basses. Had this house for over 20 years, and it's kind of been a dream to configure this into a studio space. This was my room. It was a converted bedroom. Now, basically like an overdub room. I used to have 4 people in here with all my recording gear, and that would get a little tight. So the motivation was to, with my wife's blessing, was to move to this room over here. This is just kind of like, at the moment, gear storage. I got my tube traps and pedals are lining these shelves. There's a lot of pedals here.
Oh, hi, Rupert.
Some of the instruments I have, and I have a lot. I'll be honest. I've been a bass collector for 30 plus years, and I've got some beauties. These are 2 of my newest basses by a guy named Carlos Lopez. He's got a company called Castadosa. And these are short scale instruments that I've been recording with a lot. They have the Curtis Novak bisonic Pitta. This one is flat wound and the Curtis Novak gold foil. And this one has round wound. It's just 2 different sounds. Here's my Chaney carpet Strat. This is a 1960 T bass, and this is a 56. This is an old M85. This is a JMJ, and my buddy Justin, his signature model at Fender. Lots of instruments over the years, and at this point, I got to get rid of some. You know, anyone wants to buy no, just kidding. I never sell anything. I just hold on to it all. This is the main room. This is our new room where we're really thrilled because it came out, in my opinion, better than I could have ever dreamed. The centerpiece is the 5088, and I'm incredibly grateful to Rupert Neve Designs, everyone there who made this dream a reality. And the sound coming out of this is unparalleled, in my opinion. The monitoring, I got the Genelec 1s, they're the mains, and I have the PMC 6.2s. These are actually categorized as near field as well, even though they could be considered loudspeakers.
Yeah,
they go pretty loud.
Big ones.
I think, I think they go up to about 120, 118, 120 dB.
This is average monitoring level.
Yeah, just it's like a jet taking off. We calibrated them with this board and just sat in here in awe of how wonderful and rich and detail oriented the sonic space is. It's inspiring. Like I said, it's been a dream come true for me. I've had this place for 20 years. When we got this, our initial plan was to make this a studio, and then we had kids and got sidelined, and it was a playroom with a drum kit and some basses and amps,
Tell me about some of these synths over here. What are some highlights?
This is a highlight, actually. This is an original D6 Hunter clavinet. One of my good friends who I play in a band with, Josh Freese, who's a great drummer. His brother I got introduced to, Jason Freese. He's actually the keyboardist for Green Day. He got it from his high school. It sat there in a music locker, and he would go back to the high school. He's friends with the music teacher and acquired it from the school and reached out because he knows I love old gear and said, hey, you know anyone who might be interested in this D6? And I said, me, how about? It's about as clean as you'll ever find one. Not played very much, even by Jason. It's restrung. Sounds incredible.
Tell me about the drum setup over here.
Yeah, this is one of my heroes, an old roommate of mine, a guy named Gary Novak, who we played with Alanis Morissette together. He played with Chick Corea back in the day and has played with everybody. It's an Australian company called Brady, and it was a big enough kit that the ISO room has a 20-inch kick, and we divided the kit in half to create 2 kits, a little bit larger drum kit and then the smaller one next door. I think they're pretty much primarily known for their snare drums, but they don't have that many kits. I've been told, never get rid of that kit. Hold on to that kit. And it records beautifully.
Tell me about the bass rig over here.
Yeah, these are early 60s, mid 60s, I should say, B15Ns. And they're like jimmied together. And I didn't know you could actually do that. Don Lee, who helped with the room, hit me to that. And it is bass porn sitting down here and playing through both these stereo 60s B15s. I either record with these or I use an old Aguilar 359 head, which is, if you're familiar with this company, it's half the power section of their old classic power amp. And these things weigh as much as an amp. They're boat anchors, but for a reason. They sound incredible. And I have everything going through the guitar side and the top JX44 and the bass and one beneath. So I can preview or select any number, as you can see on here, SPT, P15, the 800, Aguilar. And I've been using this. This is a late 60s SPT that Bob Dixon kind of went through for me. And so what I'll generally do is in the other room, I have a FET 47 on a cabinet, and I put the DI and then the outside through 1 and 2 of the Unfair Child, which is just a complete game changer. I absolutely love. And then that goes into the low band Pultex, goes into the Brainchild, the mothership, the most ridiculous console available, period. I can't imagine anything other than this. And at this point, I wish I had 48. What's amazing about this space is it's a dream in the sense that I have everything just plugged in, wired up, ready to go. You want to use the smaller drums? Do you want to use the drums in here on headphones? Do you want to play grand piano upstairs? So it's an ideal home studio. Comes also with a shining carpet. This was a carpet in my wife's office, and we're both super fans. So it's not haunted, I promise. The kind of flow of the room, the first 16, with the exception of the last 2 on every 16, is going to the headphone amps. First 16 goes to the ISO room. The second 16 go to the keyboard wall. And then we patch from there for the drums. Everything's normaled. Then the guitar world is 49 up to 64. Is that right? Get my math right. Anyway, we have 64 inputs.
Big question. Final question. Silk red or silk blue?
Oh, God. I'm going to go silk red. It's just the perfect, I mean, that's a hard question. That's like a soft serve ice cream with chocolate and vanilla when you love both. There's a saturation that you get that harkens back to the classic era, but I've found I don't need to really touch much of anything. That's what I've found so fascinating. So I just love the sound of the board. It's just such a game changer. I use it as my stereo system at this point. I come in and listen to music. I just love how great everything sounds coming out of it. I am so fortunate to have this in my house. I cannot believe it, honestly.
Thank you for letting us in to show us around a little bit.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. Are you kidding? Yeah, I'm a Neve fanatic, Rupert Neve fanatic.